The Immigration and Custom Enforcement, also known as ICE, is indiscriminately making their way into your cities, neighborhoods, or small towns. They don't care if you're Mexican, African, or Chinese. If you're here illegally, there's a high probability you're going to get caught up in a federal sweep. It doesn't matter if you're a high-risk fugitive or a little old lady who came over here 40 years ago seeking a better life, you're at risk. I understand this is a touchy topic. Someone watching this video right now might have a loved one in a federal detention center as we speak. Every immigrant that comes to the United States illegally is not a bad person. What happens is you automatically become a criminal when you illegally cross into the United States. You're off to a bad start. You see the massive childcare fraud the Somalis are committing in Minnesota. You see the violent takeovers of apartment complexes in Colorado due to Venezuelan street gangs. Mexican cartel wars fighting over control of drugs coming across the border. Illegal Chinese marijuana farms popping up in American suburbs. With all these issues occurring around the U.S., there's still a group of Americans who's pushing back against ICE agents. There's people nullifying the communities when ICE is around. There's people who intentionally blocking ICE agents' cars, throwing rocks. Now I'm starting to see people driving their cars in the direction of ICE agents. I'm here to tell you how dangerous and irresponsible it is to interfere with federal agents. It can cost your life. You know who it is. It's your man and not your boy.
A new look at the fatal aftermath of the shooting. Here's Good's SUV slamming into other cars after she was shot. Her wife, Rebecca, rushing to the driver's door, then collapsing to the snow as authorities surrounded the vehicle. Rebecca speaking out for the first time since her death, telling Minnesota Public Radio they had stopped to support our neighbors and that we had whistles, they had guns. Saying of the mother of three, she is pure love. She is pure joy.
You might have seen this extremely sad video circulating on the internet when a federal ICE agent opened fire on Renee Good, an American citizen, unaliving her on the scene. I'm hearing a lot of chatter online about the placement of ICE agents' feet or if he was standing in front of the vehicle when the initial shots were fired. Jonathan Ross, who shot and unalived Renee Good on Wednesday, have served as a deportation officer with ICE since 2015. Records showed he was seriously injured last summer when he was dragged by a vehicle of a fleeing suspect whom he shot with a stun gun. Jonathan Ross isn't some gun-blazing new hire. He's been in the field and has been injured in the line of duty in almost the same situation that occurred. According to CNN, Renee Good's final moments were spent in her maroon Honda Pilot, her son's stuffed animals peeking out of the glove compartment. She has stopped in the middle of a tree lane, South Minneapolis Street, and motioned for unmarked government vehicles to drive past. Whistles blasts pierced the early January chill, a now familiar community response employed by activists in the U.S. cities to alert neighbors to the presence of immigration officers. For several minutes, Goods partly blocked traffic on the street. Some unmarked government vehicles idled, others drove around. "Go home," a bystander yelled. Unfortunately, Renee Good would be the one sent home to an early demise.
A demonstration held Friday in Santa Ana in support of Renee Good turned violent after a clash between protesters and federal agents there. Video from that night, shot by a freelance photographer, shows a protester being dragged into the federal building by an agent.
American citizen or immigrant, no one deserves to lose their life over a traffic violation. On the other hand, no one deserves to be harassed carrying out their work duties. I am no way, shape, or form a police sympathizer. I've been on the wrong end of the law, and never in my 15 years of hard thugging has the community started whistling to notify me that the popo was coming. The only people that help criminals are criminals. Let me know in the comment section how you feel or what you feel about helping illegal immigrants. If you made it this far, don't forget to bang and hit that like and subscribe button. It will help my program out tremendously. I would like to reiterate what I said earlier in the video. Not all illegal immigrants are bad people, but they do become criminals once they enter the United States illegally. If you have a problem on how ICE are operating in your city, go to the city council meetings or proper channels. Figure out how to make a complaint, but don't ever take it upon yourself to get involved. The question of whether Renee Good broke the law is the subject of intense debate. If she broke the law, these are some possible laws that she could have broken. Interfering with law enforcement operation, she positioned her vehicle to block federal agents. Disobeying lawful orders, officials stated she ignored commands to exit her vehicle. Aggravated assault or attempted murder by allegedly weaponizing her vehicle and accelerating it towards federal agents. Remember, I haven't passed the bar, but I know a little bit that you can obstruct officers or resist or try to run them over if they're standing in front of your whip. This is how you get fed every bullet out of the clip. Hold up. But back to the case. Renee Good didn't deserve to lose her life. She was a 37-year-old woman of 3 described as a gentle, kind, award-winning poet. It's been stated she was present as a legal observer of the ICE activities. I'm all for peaceful protests over people observing the police. Feel free to do what you want to do without going to jail. I feel Renee Good didn't completely understand the law, or she thought ICE agents didn't hold any authority over her. Or maybe she thought she had the reflection for the protection. The moment the federal agent said, "Get out the car," her life was in danger. The whole world is talking about this tragic situation. I hear people saying, why didn't the agent get out the way? Or the agent shot from the side of the car instead of the front. Some people are saying she was trying to turn the wheel away from the agent. I truly believe if she would have complied with the agent's demand, she would be alive today. There's 3 different videos I watched, and they all played out the same way in my head. Lethal force. In my opinion, Agent Jonathan Ross will face no charges. This was a senseless shooting that could have been avoided. Let me put you up on some game dealing with these type of officers. Comply or die. Always remember, never turn a misdemeanor into a felony. It can cost your life. Into the view, my friends.